Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is this beautiful baby dress. I absolutely love this design. It's kind of hard to get all on camera. There we go. Isn't it cute? So this is a 6 to 9 month. It fits perfectly on my mannequin. You'll see it in pictures at the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. And then on the thumbnail, you can see the mannequin wearing the dress. That mannequin fits perfectly into 6 to 9 month Granimal clothes from Walmart. So that's what I always use to base the size of my clothes on. So this baby dress fits on her perfect. And we have just a single button on the back, but you guys can close up the back of your dress however you want to. You do not have to use a button. You can just tie a piece of yarn around there or what have you. Sew on some snaps, doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, go for it. So we have our sleeves. And then we have the chevron to match. And actually, if you lay this out, I don't know if I can get it to do it. If you lay it out, it's actually a star, just like the baby blanket and the pillow, the matching pillow. Links are in the description box if you guys want to watch that tutorial. It's a piece of my hair I crocheted into it. So let's talk about size. Let's say you want your dress to be bigger. Now I'm using a 4-weight yarn with a 5mm hook to get the 6 to 9 month size. Let's say you want to go bigger. I would suggest going up to a 6mm hook, and that would probably go to a complete whole set of baby clothes size larger than the 6 to 9 month. So then let's say you want to go smaller. Go down to a 3-weight yarn, stick with the 5mm hook. That would probably be close to a 3 to 6. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe go down to a 4.5. Go down to a 4.5 or a 4. That would be a good 3 to 6 month size. Maybe if it's a larger 3 to 6, stay at the 5mm hook. If it's a smaller, more towards a 3 month, go to a 4mm hook. But anyway, it'll come out the exact same. The only difference is I'd watch the length of the skirt. You may not need the full length that I did on this one. And if you're going larger, you may need more. So, like I said, for this I used a 5mm hook, and then I used the same yarn I used for the pillow and the baby blanket, which is Craft Smart Never Enough in the color purple, and Craft Smart Never Enough purple, violet, morado. Purple, that was my cat snoring if you heard that. Purple, violet, and morado. All right, so you guys can use any yarn you want to. Just, I would suggest having it match your baby blanket and your pillow set is adorable. Okay, so you may need a stitch marker. It's not 100% necessary. I would just, if you prefer to use stitch markers so you don't get lost, just grab you one of those. And then, of course, your needle to weave in your ends and a pair of scissors. And then whatever you're going to choose to close the back of your dress, like I said, I just used a button. And basically, using this button was kind of an afterthought. I wasn't really sure how I wanted to close up the dress until after I had already finished the entire dress. And then what I did is just went through my stash and found a button that fit through my double crochets. What is that, round 2? The double crochets for round 2. I just grabbed a button and pushed it through those double crochets to make sure it fit, sewed it on the back of the dress, and there you go. So that is all you're going to need. So, Georgie, you're snoring, bubbies. Okay, so get your supplies together and let's get started. Alrighty, to get started, go ahead and pause this video, get a slip knot on your hook with plenty of tail to weave in your end, and get a chain of 61. And then once you get your chain of 61, come back here and we're going to move on to row 1, and we're going to single crochet into the second chain from our hook. So 1 and 2. So right there, we're going to single crochet into there. Okay, and now we're just going to single crochet into each chain all the way down. All right, I am going to get my chain done, or my my single crochets done, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've worked down the chain. I have one more right here that I want to work into. Right there. Chain 1, and that's the end of row 1. So row 2, we're going to turn, and we're going to work a double crochet into the very first single crochet. So right into there, work a double crochet. Okay, double crochet into the next single. And now we're going to increase into the next single crochet. Increase is 2 double crochets into one stitch. So increase into the next single, which is 2 doubles. Okay, now we're going to double crochet into the next 2 singles. 1 and 2. And so the repeat across this row is increase, double, double, increase, which is 2 doubles into 1, double into the next 2, increase, 2 doubles into 1, double crochet into the next 2 singles. All right, so repeat that all the way down, and I will meet you when I get closer to the end, okay? So increase, double, double, increase, double, double, increase, double, double, okay? I'll be right back. Alrighty, I've repeated that all the way to this end, and I've just worked my increase, and I have 3 single crochet left. So I'm going to work my double, double, and then into the very last single with my increase. And you should have 80 double crochet now, okay? All right, so let's move on to round 3. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And into the very first double crochet, we're going to work a double. And we're going to double into the next 2. And now increase into the next. So what we are doing now, so row 2, we worked increase, 1 double, 1 double, increase, 1 double, 1 double. For round 3, we're going to work increase, 1 double, 1 double, 1 double. So it's 3 doubles, then an increase, 3 doubles and an increase, whereas round 2 was 2 doubles and an increase, 2 doubles and an increase. So we just worked our increase, so now we double into the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. Increase into the next. Double into the next 3. 1, 2, 3. Increase into the next. So go ahead and repeat that. Increase, double into the next 3. Increase, double into the next 3. Repeat that around, and I will meet you when I get to the end, okay? Be right back. All right, so I have worked that around. I just worked an increase and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochet left, so I'm going to work my 1, 2, 3 doubles and increase into the very last. Okay, so that is the end of round 3, and this is what we should be looking like, and you should have 100 double crochet. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to stop my video for just a second. So to end round 3, make sure you work that increase into your last double crochet, okay? So to go on to round 4, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to double crochet right back into that very first double crochet. Okay? And now double crochet into the next 14. That way we have a set of 15 double crochet together, since we've already got that one right there. So now double into the next 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. All right, now we have 15 double crochet right there. All right, now we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, now I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm just going to set this down for a minute, because now we're going to count 20 double crochet, and then I'm going to mark my 20th double crochet with a stitch marker. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I am going to mark that 20th double crochet. And the reason I'm doing that is just to make it easier for me, so if I lose track of where I am, I don't have to stop and recount. I know where I'm at. Okay, so what we're going to do is fold this in half. All right, so the stitches are going up, or like the piece we folded is up, and we're going to double crochet into the very next double crochet. Here's the 20th. I'm going right into the next with a double. Okay, so that is the start of our sleeve, just like that. And you can flip it either way, but we want it up like that. All right, so now we're going to double crochet into the next 29. So since we already have one here, we're going to have a set of 30 double crochet right here. So I am going to go ahead and get mine done off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I worked my 29 plus the one we worked right after our chain, so there are 30 double crochet right here. Now we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm just going to pull that up, and I'm going to take the stitch marker, and we're going to skip 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So I'm going to mark my 20th, and now we should have 15 double crochet left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good deal. All right, so get my hook back on my work. And I'm going to bring my piece together like this. So fold up the stitches that we're skipping, and I am going to double crochet right into the very next double, and then just double crochet to the end. double crochet right along. Into the last one. It's quite windy today. You guys can hear everything. Okay, so now we're going to move on to round 5. You should have, just before we go, you should have 15, 9 chains, 30 double, 9 chains, and 15 double for round 3. So to move on to round 4, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Okay, so we are going to double crochet into the very first double crochet. And now over the next 2, we're going to work a double crochet decrease, because right now, without decreasing, working this round all the way around, we're going to have 78 double crochet. We only need 77. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over, go into the next double, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, go into that very next double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on my hook, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So what I did is just took those next 2 doubles and made it 1 double crochet, 1 stitch, being 1 decrease. All right, now we are going to double into each double until we get to that chain 9. So just double right along. Okay, so here is my last double before my chain. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take the stitch marker out. I don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to work 1 double into each chain, and I'm going to count as I go so I don't get confused between my last chain and the next double. So I am going to go right, you can see the back hump right there, So I'm going to go right into that side loop for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there is my last back loop. So right there is the side of my chain, and there's number 9. Okay, so now we just double crochet across all these 30, and this is what our piece should look like right now. We just worked under the armpit. So what I'm going to do right now is just pause my camera, and I'm going to double crochet across these 30, and I'll come back when we get to that chain. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got 1 more before my chain starts, and I feel like I didn't explain very well working into the chain on this first part. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of slow it down a little bit right here. So what we are looking at is the back of the chain, right? Here's our back humps, or the back of our chain, and right here is the side of the chain. So if I insert my hook right there and I turn this over, you can see the chain and the loops of the chain. Well, we're working it this way, so what I'm doing is looking for that back hump, like right here it's a little one, but I know right above the back hump is the side chain that I need to work into. So there's 1, here's my back hump, 2, back hump, 3, back hump, 4, and so on. And the reason I count is because sometimes, for me anyway, I don't know about anyone else, but for me sometimes I get a little confused between that last chain right here and that first double. So just to be on the safe side, I just count. So I feel like I didn't explain that well enough over here. I apologize for that. All right, so we have the back hump. So I'm just going to go above that, go into that loop with 1 into the next. There's the back hump. So I'm just going to go into the loop right above it. 2, there's the back hump, loop right above it. 3, wait a minute, I think I skipped. I did. See that? Right there is a back hump, and right here is a loop. I skipped that one. That's good reason why I count. There's 3. Okay, there's my back hump. Here's 4. My back hump's a little distorted right there, but it's right here. So here's that loop. 5. Get me some slack. Right, there's my back hump. Right there is 6. Back hump, top loop. 7. Back hump, top loop is 8. And the last one, back loop, back hump. Right there's that top loop. There's 9. So now we just double crochet all the way to the end. 1, 2, should be 15. That was 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, dang it, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and that very last one, 15. Okay, so I am going to stop. And now I want to count to make sure I have 77 double crochet, because that's how many we need for that chevron pattern on the skirt. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. Good deal. Yay! Okay, so if we bring our two pieces together, there is what our dress should be looking like. Okay, so that was round 5. Go ahead, and all you are going to do for round 6, 7, 8, and 9 is chain 1, turn, double crochet into each double all the way around. I just realized something. I'm sorry. Stop. crap. I'm sorry. I just realized to end this round, we actually... No, it's not. I was right. Dang it, I was right. Chain 1. No, I wasn't. Okay, so you are going to flip your piece inside out. So where the last round of double crochets you just worked are facing outside. Get it together, Alana. Okay, so what we are going to do, so the last round of double crochet should be facing you. All I did is just flip the shoulder pieces, okay? So the last row should be facing you. I'm sorry, guys. And what we're gonna do to end round 5 is slip stitch to our very first double crochet. Right there. Now we chain 1, double crochet into each double crochet all the way around. And that's what we are going to repeat for, this is round 6. That's what we're going to repeat for 7, 8, and 9. Double crochet all the way around, slip stitch to your first double crochet, chain 1, double crochet back into that very first double crochet all the way around, slip stitch to your first, chain 1, double crochet right back into that first double crochet all the way around. So what I just started is 6. I'm going to finish 6, and then I'm going to work 7, 8, and 9, and I'll be right back, okay? I feel bad. I messed that up. We had to flip it and then slip stitch. It's been a while since I've worked my little prototype, and I didn't write that in my notes. I'm sorry. All right, work that around, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I just finished, well, I'm to the last stitch of round 9. So I'm going to double crochet in there. And now we slip stitch to the top of the first double. Chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. All right, well, I'll weave that in later, tuck it inside. Okay, so to move on to round 10, we are going to get our variegated. Make sure you have enough tail to weave in your end. Get a slip knot. Get that on your hook. And we are going to attach right back into the double crochet that we just slip stitched into. So go right back in there. We're going to work a slip stitch, chain 1, and I'm just going to tighten down that slip stitch by pulling your tail. And we're going to double crochet right back into that same double. Right in there. And now double crochet into the next 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I should have said this before I started. Actually, I'm gonna adjust this camera real quick. So at the end of round 9, you still should have, there, that's better. You still should have 77 double crochets, okay? And my hook is squeaky and it's driving me nuts. Okay. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochet. So into the very next double, we're going to work a double, chain 2, double. So go right in there, double, chain 2, right back in there with a double. Okay? Now we're going to double crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to skip 2. Here's our valley. We're going to skip 2 and double crochet into the next 4. So I'm going to yarn over, skip, skip, double into the next 4. Oops. skip, skip, 1, 2, 3, 4. And can you guess who's here? Church, come on, please don't lay on my yarn. Okay, how about this? Okay, I got him adjusted. So we skip 2, double, don't do it, church. Double into the next 4, and now into the next double, we're gonna work our peak, which is the double, chain 2, double. Double, chain 2, go right back in there with the double. Now double crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we're to our valley. So we skip 2 and double crochet into the next 4. So skip and double, 2, 3, and 4. So you can see our valleys, peaks, valleys, peaks. So that's what you're going to repeat around, okay? You're going to work 4 into the next, work your peak, which is a double, chain 2, double. Double crochet into 4, skip 2, double crochet into the next 4. And just repeat that around so you have 4, peak, 4, valley, 4, peak, 4, valley, 4, peak, 4, valley. Work that all the way around, and I will meet you when we get to these last couple stitches, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I've come around and I've worked my peak right here, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochet left. So what we're going to do is work the 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we skip 2 for our valley, and we come right back to the beginning and slip stitch to the first double, just like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 peaks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 valleys. Okay. All right. So that is not the end of round 10. So we slip stitch to the very first double crochet. Now we are going to slip stitch into the next double and chain 1. All right. So that's the end of round 10. And to move on to round 11, we're going to double crochet right into that we're going to double crochet into the double crochet that we just slip stitched into. So yarn over and go right back in there with a double. And now we are going to double into the next 3 double. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now into the chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. So that is our new peak. 1, 2, I'm losing my slack. Chain 2, go right back in there with 2 double. And now we're going to double crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip the next 2 for our valley. And if you guys have a hard time identifying your stitches for your valley, just mark them with a stitch marker right around both of them, so you always know that's the 2 you skip for your valley. So jump right over, double crochet into the next 4. 2, 3, and 4. So into the chain 2 with our new peak, 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. And now we repeat double crochet into the next 4. And just to make sure you don't lose the top of that double right there, slide that over a little bit and then the top will pop right out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. We've made it to our next valley, the 2 double crochet right here that we need to skip. So we just skip and skip, double crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. To our peak, into the chain 2, we work our new peak, which is 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. Go right in there with that. Chain 2, 2 double. So I'm going to let you guys repeat that around. Work your peak, which is for this round, 2 double, chain 2, 2 double, double crochet into the next 4, skip 2 for your valley, double crochet into the next 4, work your peak, double crochet into 4, skip 2 for your valley, double crochet into 4, work your peak. So just repeat that around and I will meet you when we get back to the beginning. Okay, so I have repeated that around and now I worked my last peak and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochet left. So we're going to double crochet into the next 4 just like normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to skip the last, and then if you remember when we started this round, we slip stitched into the next double crochet. So the first double crochet we're already going to be skipping. So here is our 2 that we are going to skip for the valley by just slip stitching right into the very first double crochet. Right in there. Just like that. So we keep our valley, which there, now you can see it. All right, so we are actually done with our variegated for now. So I'm going to chain 1 and cut. Get my purple. Get a slip knot on your hook and make sure you have enough tail to weave in an end. All right, get that on my hook, and I'm just going to go into the next chain 2 space. It doesn't matter which one you go into, just as long as you're into one of the chain 2 spaces on the back of the dress. All right, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go right back into the chain 2 space with 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. So we still have the same peak, chain 2, scooch it over, and I'm working over my tail also, and 2 double. Okay, so now what we're going to do is double crochet into each double until our valley. So if you have a hard time seeing your valley, if you look, or you just keep your stitch marker moving up, stitch markers, to the next 2. So we have the 2 here, and then we have right above that, the 2 there. That is our new valley that we need to skip. Ow, pinch myself. So you double crochet into each double until the valley. So if you don't know, just stop and look at it and see, okay, here's the valley, here's our valley. So I skip 2, double crochet into each double until your next peak. Now the reason I'm not giving stitch counts is because it's going to change. What the chevron of the skirt of the dress is based off of is 3 rows. So we have an increase, increase, and an even. So we're not increasing. So that's why our peaks are going to change. So we have a non-increase round where we just have 1 double, chain 2, 1 double, but then round 11 was 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. So that's an increase. And then we have another round, which is the one we're working on now, round 12. We have 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. So we're increasing again. So the stitch count is going to be completely different from your peaks to your valley. So that's why I'm not giving you a number in here. The best way to do it is just to hold it and look at it, and you can see the 2 stitches that you're going to skip each time for your valley. And if you have a hard time, just get stitch markers. Get your stitch markers, mark the 2 above the last row's valley, and there you go. You're going to always see the 2 double crochet you need to skip. Okay? So I made it to my peak, so I'm going to work my 2 double, chain 2, 2 double, double crochet into each double until your valley. And another way to look at it is if a chevron is essentially peak, valley, peak, valley. So you're starting at your peak, you're descending to the valley, you're ascending to your peak, descending, ascending. So every time you're working down, you're descending to your valley. The very last double crochet on your descend side is always going to be the one you skip. The very first double crochet on your ascending side is the second double crochet you're going to skip. Does that make sense? So like let me show you this. Okay, so I'm working, let me hold that up, there we go. I'm working down my descending side, so I'm going to double into each double, and the very last one is my first one I skip for my valley. And then to start working up the ascending side, I skip the very first one, which is the second double crochet of my valley, and work up to the peak. Does that make sense? I wish I would have thought of that when I was filming my baby blanket part. That would have been a lot easier to say. All right, so I'm going to double crochet into each double until I get to my valley, and I see right here are my 2 doubles I need to skip. So jump right over them into the very next and start working up my ascending side, working up to my point or my peak. 2 double, chain 2, 2 double into my peak, chain 2, 2 double. Okay, so I am gonna let you guys repeat that around. Double into each double until you get to your valley. Skip the 2 for your valley. Double crochet into each double until your peak. And repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you when we get back to the beginning. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've repeated that around, and I wanted to come back because I want you guys to see what we have right here is the first double crochet of my valley, and then the second one's a little wonky to see, right? Because we've got that slip stitch in there, that slip stitch in chain 1. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna hide that tail to the back, and we're going to skip the first, and the second's a little wonky looking, but the very next one that we need to work into is a clear top of a double crochet, right? You can see the whole double. So we skip the wonky one right into the next one. Oop, messed that up. And now double crochet into each double until you're back to the very beginning. Right in there. Okay, now we slip stitch to that very first double crochet and chain 1, and that is the end of round 12. Isn't that cute? You can see the chevron building, and once we work it, you know, it's eventually going to start growing and growing and growing and growing, and it's going to make a pretty dress. All right, so we are going to move on to round 13 by double crocheting right back into the double crochet we just slip stitched into. So double crochet right back in there. All right, now we're going to double crochet into the next. And now for this round, remember earlier when I said the basis of the chevron of the skirt is based on a non-increasing round, increase round, increase round. So we have we have the peak as a 1 double, chain 2, 1 double, and then the 2 increasing rounds, the peak is 2 double, chain 2, 2 double. Well, so it's the 3 rows. So we've already done 1, 2, 3, so we're going to start over. So that means our new peak is going to be the double, chain 2, double. So we're on a non-increasing round. So into our peak, we now work our new peak, double, chain 2, double. And now we double crochet into each double until our valley. And remember, like I said, the valley, it gets easier to see the more stitches we get between the valleys. So I just hold it out and look, I'm coming down my descending side, the very last stitch on the descending side, and the first stitch on the ascending side we skip, and double crochet into the next, and then double crochet into each double until our peak. So the only difference on this round is our peaks. It's a non-increasing peak. So it's double, chain 2, double. Okay, so you guys go ahead and repeat that around, and I will meet you at the beginning. And like I said, if you have any problems with your valley stitches, just use a stitch marker, okay? I will be right back. Okay, so I've made it all the way around. I skipped my last valley, and I'm working up to my peak. Well, not my peak, actually. I've already got my first peak. So I'm just double crocheting into each double until I'm back to the beginning. Slip stitch to the very first, and that's 2 rounds of purple. So I'm going to chain 1 and pull up a loop and fasten off. All right, so the repeats for the dress part are 3 rounds. We have the excuse me, the non-increase round, which is the 1 double, chain 2, 1 double as your peak, and then the 2 increase rounds, 2 double, chain 2, 2 double as your new peak. You work that twice and then go back to your non-increasing peak, 1 double, chain 2, 1 double. So you just repeat non-increase, increase, increase, non-increase, increase, increase. And then on top of that, all you have to do is change color every 2 rows or however often you want to do it. It's completely up to you. And again, to attach, you just slip stitch into that chain 2 space, just like we did for when we attached the purple. Just slip stitch into the chain 2, chain 1, and depending on which round you're on, a non-increase or an increase, work your peak, right? All right, so since I am on, I just finished a non-increase, I know that I have to work 2 increase rounds, okay? So I hope you guys understand that. So it's just non-increase, increase, increase. Non-increase, increase, increase. Non-increase, increase, increase. And just change color every 2 row or however you guys are going to work the pattern. And just to attach, slip stitch into your chain 2, chain 1, work your peak depending on which round you're on. And again, let's make sure everybody gets the valleys. You can see the descending is more what's the word I'm looking for? Prominent, like standing out. It stands out more, that peak or that valley, right? So you just work into each double down your descending side till that last one. That's the first you skip for the valley. For the ascending side, skip the first one for the second part, or the first one of the ascending for the second double crochet of your valley, double crochet each to your peak. Or just use a stitch marker. Grab those 2 double crochet, mark them, and then you're always going to find, you're always going to see that stitch marker coming up. And you know, okay, don't work don't just double crochet across. I've got my 2 to skip. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys work the repeat one more time. Non-increase, increase, increase. Non-increase, increase, increase. A non-increase round equals 1 double, chain 2, 1 double as your peak. Increase rounds equals 2 double, chain 2, 2 double as your peak. Email me if you have any questions. My email address is in the description box, okay? So I am going to work my pattern or work my skirt off camera, and I'm going to come back and let you guys know how many rounds I worked for the chevron, okay? I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back, and I have worked. I turn it over so I can count my rows for you. You guys can see I already designed a sleeve, so that's what it's going to look like. But okay, so we worked 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So I'm going to measure from... I'm going to go from peak to the collar, which we're not done yet because we're going to add a little bit of a collar. And it's measuring about 14 and 3/4. The lowest line of the collar. Yeah, about 14 and 3/4. So if you don't want yours that long, you definitely could have, you know, ended on 1 row of purple, or even ended on the variegated. Looked pretty good too. So go ahead and work the rounds you want, and then fasten off and weave in your ends. I forgot to weave one in. I was going to say something. Now I don't remember what it was. I really don't remember. I just had it. I was going to say something. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, so, oh, I was just going to say, and I kept with the repeat, you know, working the, I'm weaving in an end while I'm talking. I worked the 2 rounds with the increase in the peak, and then I worked the 1 round with 1 double, chain 2, 1 double. Which, I mean, technically it is an increase, but I'm meaning it as in it's not increasing the peak. Okay, so I did end on a non-increase round, which it doesn't matter what round you guys end on. It's not going to hurt a thing at all. So go ahead, get all your ends weaved in. I haven't weaved in this first one. I'm just going to save that for later. And let's get started on these armholes, or these sleeves, I should say. So, I get comfy in my chair. What we are looking at, okay, are the chains, the bottom of the, or well, I should say the remaining loops of the chain 9 that we worked to create our sleeve. That's what we're looking at right here. And that's where we're going to start. So I have it laying sideways. This is the front of my dress. This is the back of my dress. I want to start at the back. So I'm going to get my working yarn. Get a slip knot. Make sure I have plenty of end to weave in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look. I want to go into the remaining loop of a double crochet that's not, or I mean a chain that is I'm trying to think of how I can explain this. So if we look, we have 1 double crochet right here that's upside down. Everything is upside down, right? We have 1 double post of a double crochet right here, and we have one over here, but it's a little sideways. We don't want to work into that. We want to work into the very first one that has both of the remaining loops of the chain right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach chain 1, single crochet right back into it, and then single crochet into the next 8. So we need to make sure that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we look, just look for right here. See that double crochet that's laying right there? And this one looks like it has more than one into it. We want to go right into that very first one right there. Okay? So I got a slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to attach into the very first. Now all I'm doing is just taking the head of my crochet hook and bringing it right to where the bottom of the double crochet is and where it meets the chain. Just set it right there and push, and you're going to go right into the remaining loops. And I'm going to slip stitch and chain 1. And pull that tail and it'll tighten down that slip stitch. And I'm going to go right back in there with a single. I'm going to go ahead and mark it. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you prefer, go ahead and just mark that first one. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 7. So just all you have to do is look. Now remember, these are all upside down, okay? All you have to do is look for the post, where the post meets the chain. Set your hook right there, right where the post and the chain come together, and push, and it'll pop right through the remaining loops. Find your post, where the post meets the chain, push, pops right through there. And just work that all the way across. Or not all the way across, I shouldn't have said that. Work that into this next 7. So what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have the first one we worked, and then the next 7, so we have a total of 8 single crochet right here. So I'm just going to rotate my work a little bit. And now what we're going to do is work a half double crochet. All right, I'm going to explain this the best way I can. So what we are looking at right now, okay, we are looking at right there is the post of a double crochet. And then right here is the double crochet, or the top of that double crochet that's been worked into, which is this double crochet. I feel like it's really dark and I'm not sure why. Let me get you guys closer. That didn't really help much. Where'd my needle go? Oh. All right, so we have, just hold on just a second, guys. I am going to get you a little closer. Did that help? I think that may have helped. All right, so let's do this again. What we have is we have the post of a double crochet right here. It's upside down, and since the way I'm holding my work, it's laying like if this was the top of the double that you worked into, this is the post of your double, it's laying like this, okay? Here's the post right there, and then that hole right there is actually the top of that double that's been worked into with this double, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to half double crochet into that hole right there that's at the top of that double crochet that's setting sideways. Okay, so yarn over and half double crochet into there, just like that. And now what we're going to do is half double crochet around the post of that same double crochet right there, that post I just showed you, it's sideways. We're going to half double crochet around that. Hook is squeaky. Okay, so now we are going to look again at what we have. So if I turn it sideways, where'd my needle go? We can see that the post that we just worked around is worked into a double crochet right there. See it? There's the post of it, and here's the top that's been worked into. We're going to half double right into there. Right into there, just like that. And now we are going to double crochet, decrease over the next 2 double crochet. So the decrease, we yarn over, go into that very next double, the one, it's just a normal double right there. We're going to go in pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the next double, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, and now we're going to double crochet into the next 16 doubles. So I'm going to stay with you. 1, just like normal now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something is off on my filming and I cannot figure out what it is, and it's kind of starting to bug me. Where was I? The decrease 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, oops, go back, 14, 15, and into that next one with 16. Okay, so we have 2 normal looking double crochet sitting right there. So we're going to decrease over those 2, just like earlier. Decrease. And now if we look again, we can see we have the post of a double right here. Here's the top of it. We're going to go right into there with a half double. So here's the post of that double. We're gonna half double right around it, that, and now we're gonna half double. See that little bitty hole right here? Half double into there, and there you go. So before we slip stitch to close off this round, I want to count, and we should have 32 stitches around. Okay, get my tail to the inside. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30, 31, and there's the last one, 32. Good deal. Okay, so now we slip stitch to the first single. Chain 1. Oh, don't mark your chain. What am I doing? All right, so let's go on to round 2. Round 2, we are going to single crochet right back into that single we just slip stitched into. So just go right back in there, mark it if you need to. I'm not going to mark mine this round. All right, now we're going to single crochet into the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Double crochet decrease over the next two stitches. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, pull through all 3. And now we're going to double crochet into the next 20. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and I've got 3 stitches left. Right here is the top of a half double, so it's a little big. There's 20. All right, so I've got my 2 stitches left, so we are going to double crochet decrease over these last 2. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Slip stitch to your very first, and you should have 30 stitches now, okay? So I'm going to chain 1. We are going to move on to round 3. Flip my, ooh, I just about dumped my coffee. That was scary. Okay, so we're going to move on to round 3 now. Round 3, we are going to single crochet right back into that same single we just slip stitched into. So single crochet into there, and now we're going to single crochet into the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Double crochet decrease over the next 2. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and now we are going to double crochet into the next 18. So speed crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I have 2 stitches left, so we double crochet decrease over these last 2. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and slip stitch to the first. And you should have 28 stitches now. Okay, so round 4, we are going to chain 1 right back in there again with a single crochet. Something is going on outside. Okay, so we're going to single crochet into the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I just realized why my phone is so dark. I forgot I turned down the brightness on my screen last night at a volleyball game, because I get paranoid. So like if you're sitting in the bleachers and I'm looking at my phone, which, you know, what's on my phone is private to me and my husband, meaning like my Google and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so if somebody's sitting behind me in the bleachers, I get so paranoid because I've seen people literally just watching people in front of them on their phones, and that aggravates me so bad. So I'm really paranoid that somebody is sitting behind me watching or looking at my phone and looking at my information. So what I'll do is I'll turn my brightness all the way down to where I can barely see it, so I know the person behind me can't see it. And I forgot to turn it back up. So now it just dawned on me why my screen is so dark. Duh. Okay, so where were we? We're on 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're on 4. All right, so we just single crocheted into the first, single crochet into the next 7. And now we're just going to double crochet right across the next 20. So no decreases, just 20 double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and the very last one is 20. Still should have 28 stitches, and I'm going to come down and slip stitch to my very first single crochet and chain 1. So that was round 4. We're going to go on to round 5. We're almost done. So we are going to go right back into that same single crochet that we just slip stitched into. Go right back in there with a single and single crochet into the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we are going to work 3 double crochet decreases. So we're going to decrease over these 2, decrease over the next 2, and decrease over these 2. So yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So there's 1, pull through 2, perfect timing for a train, pull through 3, there's 2, 1 more decrease, I'm going to go a little bit faster, and there's 3 decreases. All right, now we're going to double crochet into the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rotate my work. And now we're going to decrease over the next 3 again. So 1, 2, 3. And now we should have 4 double crochet left. So we're just going to double crochet into the last 4. And 1 more is 4. Slip stitch to our first single and chain 1. All right, for round 6, okay, I forgot to say, we should have 22 stitches now, okay? So for round 6, we're going to single crochet into the very same single that we just slip stitched into. So go right back in there and work a single into the next 7. So we're still keeping the 8 single crochet on the armpit area. Okay, now we're going to double crochet all the way around. Just double crochet into each double and into each decrease all the way back to the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and work this one off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've made it around. I've got 1 more that I need to double crochet into. Double into there, slip stitch to my very first single. And that's the end of round 6, and you still should have 22. So we're going to move on to the last round, chain 1, single crochet right back into that same single we just slip stitched into, and now we are just going to single crochet all the way around the sleeve. Okay, 22 single crochets all the way around. So I will meet you once I've made it all the way around and right before I work into the last stitch. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I made it all the way around. I need to single into my very last stitch right there, slip stitch to my first, chain one, pull up a loop, and cut. And that is our sleeve. Ta-da! Cute. So now let me back you guys out. All you need to do is repeat the exact same thing on the other side. Remember, lay your piece down to where the back is this way, the front is this way, attach to the back, and then work around. So that way that seam stays to the back of the dress, okay? And there you go. She's so cute. I cannot wait. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and stop here. I'm going to weave in my ends. I'm still going to leave this back end, or back tail, okay? Because I haven't decided how I'm going to close the dress. I may just use a button. I may just kind of take the lazy way and just stitch it up, and then you just slide the dress over the kid's head. Kid. Why did I say that? I should have said little girl. But, okay, so work your sleeve, and then when we come back, we are going to work a collar right here, okay? So I'm going to weave in my ends, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so I've got all my ends weaved in besides this one. And what we're going to do now is we are going to work a little collar. It's just going to be a round of half doubles. But I'm going to get a slip knot on my hook. And actually, right the chain, you can see it's open a little bit right there. Where this beginning tail is, I'm going to go right into there. Just insert my hook. Work a slip stitch, chain one, and now I'm going to pull the tail, not that one, but this one, to tighten up that slip stitch. And I'm going to yarn over and half double crochet right into there. And then work a half double into each of the remaining loops all the way around. And if you look, you can tell where the remaining loops are by the little gaps. So right there is actually the legs of the single crochet that we worked into the chain. And if you push on, if you push right there, it'll pop right through that chain. Okay. This is where you guys see that I think I messed up. I think the half doubles are going to be too big. By too big, what I mean is that if I worked a whole round of half doubles, they're going to lay like this. They're going to lay like it's going to fold out from your neck or from the baby's neck. I'm not liking that. So I'm going to pull that out and I'm going to restart with single crochets instead. So I'm going to single all the way around. And now I don't think it's going to, see how it's not laying out. It's not wanting to go, well, you can tell it does just a tad bit. See how it's kind of laying out like that right there? If those were half double crochets, those would be laying right out, and I don't want that. So we're going to work singles instead. All right, so I'm just going to single crochet into each chain. Well, I should say into each remaining loops of each chain. And if we did this right, in my mind, I'm thinking the very first thing we worked is a chain 60, right? 61, sorry. Chain 61. Skip the first chain, single crochet into each of the remaining chains. So we should have had 60 single crochet, right? Well, working this border, sorry about that, you guys, my husband's outside and he's cleaning up the backyard, and he has the radio up really loud and I didn't realize it. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, working this border around here, we should have 60 single crochet on the border. Or I shouldn't say border, what I should say is the collar. Okay, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to pause my video and finish single crocheting around. And when I come back, I will let you guys know what I have. Oops. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so I've made it all the way around. I have a chain right here to work into, or the remaining loops. And I'm going to go one more, because you can tell I'm not in the corner, right? So I'm going to go into one more space with a single, chain one, pull up loop, and we're going to cut. I didn't count. I just realized I forgot. It doesn't matter how many you have. If you have 60, that's awesome. If you don't, no big deal, because it still looks adorable. And I considered working the collar and the last round of single crochets around the sleeve. I considered working it in the variegated, but I like the simplicity of it. Does that make sense? Like, I like that the focal point, thank you, Linda, from Linda's Yard Barn, for telling me that's the word I was looking for the other day. I like the focal point to be the variegated chevron. So I don't know, I just thought working the collar and the borders of the sleeves in that variegated would have taken away from that. But you guys could, you know, work that if you wanted to. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. So what I'm going to do, I still have not made up my mind on how I'm going to close the back of this dress yet. But what I'm going to do while I finally break down and decide is weave in the tails from the collar. And so I'm going to get that done off camera. And when I come back, we are going to finish off the back of this dress. I can't find my yarn needle. All right, so I will be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and I weaved in that tail, and I've decided that I'm just going to sew a button on. So what I did was went through my buttons and grabbed I just grabbed a white one. I don't think it really matters what color. And just made sure I could push it through the rounds of double crochet. So that double right there, it is, it went flying. I just made sure I can get it through in between the double crochets right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch this on. I'll make sure I'm over the double crochets. And I pulled out a long piece of thread. Hold my tail. I pulled out a long piece of thread, pulled it through the eye of my needle, and then brought my 2 ends together so it's doubled. Sewed it tied my 2 ends in a knot repeatedly over and over and over, and that's it. Now I'm just trying to find that hole there. And you guys don't have to do a button. You could do snaps, you could just tie it together. I have a little bow in the back. Just do whatever you want to do with it. Keep going and going. All right, I'm gonna finish doing this. Ouch! I just stabbed my finger. Dang it. Now I know why Grandma cussed. Okay, I don't think this is going anywhere. All right, I'm gonna go that. I'm gonna take my tails and tie it in a knot. Right there. Like that. Cut these tails. Find that double crochets and just pop that button through there. And there we go. There's the back button shut. Okay, so I am going to pause my video here, and I'm going to put the dress on my little 6 to 9 month mannequin, and I'm gonna experiment with some decorating. I'm not sure. I thought about running a ribbon right here and then tying it in a bow, but I'm not 100% sure yet on that. So let me get the dress on the mannequin and I'll be right back. Oh, you guys, I am so happy. This looks awesome. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so what I'm thinking, let me get my ribbon. What I'm thinking, which I mean, I understand it's not really probably the greatest idea to put your kid in a piece of ribbon that they could just pull out. But what I thought, what if we put a bow right there? I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think I should do that. What if we put a little bow on, let me bend her down. Should back her up maybe? Dang it. I thought, what if I put a bow on her neck maybe? No, because I don't want... No, I changed my mind. I'm sorry, you guys. You guys can decorate your dress however you'd like to. I've changed my mind. I'm not going to put any decorations on there. I'm going to leave it the way it is. And be happy with it. So, let me pick up my little mannequin here. Bring her down. There we go. So I'm just going to leave her the way she is. But I am so happy. I'm actually... How about this? How about, let me make a note. I'm going to insert a bunch of pictures right here. Well, not a bunch, but I'm going to insert a few pictures right here so you guys can get a good look at her on the mannequin, or the dress on the mannequin. So I'm going to go ahead and do my little sign off, and then stay tuned and you guys can see these pictures, okay? So I thank you all so very, 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 very much for watching my tutorial, and just being appreciative and knowing how much hard work I've put into my tutorials and into my patterns. That is heartwarming that you guys understand what it takes, right, to do this. And it feels good for somebody to say thank you. Okay, so no more sentimental. All right, you guys are the greatest. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, then click that notification bell, and then click all, and hit that thumbs up, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think, and then follow me on all those social medias. I have the links I have down there in the description box, okay? Because if you guys make anything of mine, I would love to see it. Even email it. If you don't do social media, email me the picture. I'd love to see it. And that's it, guys. Don't forget, there's links for the matching blanket and the matching pillow set, okay? All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you stay tuned for the pictures, okay? All right, bye.